currently feeling stuck on Instagram, here are a couple quick fixes for you to immediately check out today. As you probably know, or maybe not, I've just changed my business model from high ticket to low and mid-size ticket, from mostly offering close proximity, having weekly live calls, always a mastermind, always one-on-one clients, to literally having an empty calendar of the week, except my Friday spa treatments. These will always stay in my calendar. And this was a massive, massive change, not just for me personally, but also for my audience. Because before I was talking obviously a lot about manifestation, feminine energetics, I was promoting all my high price close proximity spaces, right? And I've decided, hey, I've been doing this I did this for over 5 years. I've made my business, not myself, my business made over 18 million. So it was not coming from this point of it's not financially profitable, but anybody of you guys that's having a coaching business and you've been in the coaching world for quite a long time, there comes a point where you feel like, hey, it's for me, at least for me, and I see this with current clients, it felt energetically draining, always being available, always having people, answering people in Telegram, Vox, or whatever platform you choose, always having weekly live calls. And from the outside, my business looked so glorious, so shiny, so beautiful, but on the inside, there were some really dark points, and I want to point them out because I feel some of you are guilty of this too. And that is really, if I wasn't showing up on social media, if I wasn't selling, my business wouldn't make any money. My team members, yes, I had obviously customer support, and if people were reaching out about the programs, they would sell as a customer support, but that's not like the main source of how we made money. There were no sales systems in place. There were no automations in place. I was one of those people that always said, oh, this is my program, link in bio. Back in the day, maybe you remember, there was this function of like swipe up for the link. And I'm like, man, I want the swipe up function to sell, right? It was really my goal to have 10,000 followers just for the swipe up function. And the more I've realized, hey, on how I'm running my business is really not aligned. It's not sustainable. I want to change. And for me, literally, I sold by now programs from $22 to my one-on-one coaching, which is $500,000 for 6 months. So I sold quite a range. And what I've realized with high ticket, and for me that's anything above 10K, is with a higher price comes a higher responsibility for the person. Wouldn't you agree? When you sell your coaching program for $500,000, for $250,000, for $100,000, you are emotionally more attached than if you sell something for 22, for 55, for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever that number is. But for different numbers, we are energetically differently attached. So I've realized I just desire to sell offers to which I am less emotionally attached. And I wanted to offer programs which still lead my clients to amazing results without me having weekly live calls, multiple calls. I had so many live calls, like 3, 4, sometimes even 5 a week. And I'm like, this is not in the first place why I've created this business. And the more and more my husband and I have been traveling and being in different time zones all the time and really following our intuition and really going with the flow, very often we didn't know like where are we gonna be next week, which time zone. And at least my standard till today is I don't want to postpone my coaching calls all the time. So what happened was that we decided, let's go somewhere else next week. And I had to give coaching calls at like 4, 3 in the morning or 10 at night. And those are not my favorite time zones to provide services and talk to my clients. Maybe you understand. So something really had to shift. And that was, okay, I had to really become clear who's my dream client for different offers. How am I going to promote these? And how am I going to change my Instagram? And what I've realized, and this is really some hands down quick fixes you can check on your Instagram today. If you've been in this position where maybe you've changed your business model, maybe you changed your industry, maybe you've changed your language. This is my biggest contemplation. You probably hear by my accent, I am not a native speaker. I am originally from Germany. When I started my business, I was speaking in German only to a German-speaking audience. So all my followers or follower base obviously spoke German. After being married to an American and mostly speaking English and almost no German anymore, I've decided, hey, I want to make my company a global company. That's becoming a global brand right now. So what has happened, yes, there are many Germans that do speak English, but the majority of my clients didn't, or they decided their English is not good enough to continue working with me in English, and that's okay. For some of us, changing the language can be a massive thing. So what happened, for instance, on Instagram, I was still having all those followers which were not active anymore. And we just started this with my team yesterday and actually unfollowed over 2,000 people. And this is something I highly can recommend you, because it's more important to have a community that is active and engages with your content and our potential buyers than having a gazillion people who are never going to buy from you. So there are a couple cool things you can do right now. And before I mention these, everybody else I talked to always told me, do not start a new Instagram profile. And those were all people which never done such a massive shift. And if I would do this again, I would start a new Instagram account from the beginning. Just with fresh people, fresh vibe. This is my biggest learning. For now, we've decided a different approach. But if you ask me, I would do this again, because we carry a lot of old people with us on our business account, which are non-potential customers. And it hurts you double. First, you're talking to people and you don't receive feedback. And you think, oh, something wrong with my messages. Is something wrong with my offers? No, you are basically the Dior, but you're talking to H&M people. There's nothing wrong with you being Dior. There's nothing wrong with your Dior offers. You're talking to H&M people. It's people that value only H&M clothes, that don't value what you have. So what happens when this mismatch happens, that we can think, we take this personal. I'm like, oh, something wrong with me, something wrong with my offers. No, it's not. It is not. You're just talking to the wrong people. And wouldn't you agree, it makes more sense just to let go of those people. So the first thing I want you to do, especially if you have a smaller Instagram account, really scroll through your follower list. And for instance, what we started yesterday, everything we already knew, which were not our dream clients, we've deleted them. There was over 2,000 people. And that is everybody that had like a profile name, like Kitty123, didn't have a real profile picture, just like a cat or a flower or whatever strange things we saw. Even people had a freaking pig profile picture. This is for sure not my dream client, so we've unfollowed those people. The next thing the team checked for, how active has this person been on Instagram? Next thing I want you to check on your follower list, because there's so many people that haven't posted on Instagram since 2022, 2023. And those are not my dream clients, because I'm talking to someone that's active on Instagram, that wants to automate Instagram, that wants to use Instagram as a cash flow to sell out all your other offers. So if you're not active, you're not my dream client. So we also got rid of those people. So really recommend you to do this. The next part is, there's actually, I can't give you the exact wording because I'm actually on my phone, but there is something on your follower list where Instagram, you just click on your followers and you will see, oh, you've subscribed to creators, different categories. And one of those categories actually is, you see people which have deleted their Instagram account, but they're still following you. So that was another 150 people we've deleted. They've actually already deleted themselves from Instagram, but they were still showing up as my followers. So I highly recommend you to do this over and over and over again, actually, to clean your follower list and ask yourself, are the people that you're following, with who you're seeing, are those dream clients? Because if not, you know, I rather start on Monday with like 2 people in this community, but hey, at least you know why you're here, you know what you're getting from me, you know what I'm going to talk about, and this is on alignment, and this is like, I've asked you, you said yes. It's like a mutual relationship. We're both in the relationship and just not me anymore. And this feels so much more aligned to me than having more followers. And this is really what I wanted to talk about to you guys, because we've been trained in this Instagram bubble. It's all about, oh my gosh, how many followers, how many followers? But if you really contemplate, is this really important to you? Because for me, what was always more important was, as a business owner, how many sales am I having? How many sales am I having? Is more important to me than how many followers am I having. I'm not doing this from an ego perspective. I'm here to help female entrepreneurs to automate their business so you can grow to 8 figures. And for this, I was for such a long time with Instagram in a love-hate relationship. I really hated it. I'm like, what's the whole point? I don't like it. Every time I was on Instagram, I'm like, I just compare myself, and not in the best possible way, but in the worst possible time. And I closed the Instagram app, and not one single time did I thought, oh my gosh, so happy, so grateful. I spent, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 minutes on Instagram. That was insane. I've learned so much. I feel so happy. I'm so grateful for my life, for my business. Oh my gosh, inspiring, the most creative part of my day. So what has changed really for me to keep showing up and using Instagram and really loving by now the platform and what it has to offer is that literally 3 years ago, I wrote in my journal, I want to be so good at social media that every post I create, no matter the content, sells for me. I want to create a business in which I don't have to show up and say like, hey, this is program XYZ, like I just didn't want to do the live launches anymore. I also didn't want to promote multiple offers at the same time. I also didn't want to be just live so much anymore. And I'm like, there has to be a better store, a better way, like an online store, and people just buy it 24/7, no matter in which time zone I am, no matter where I am. I just love it when sales are coming in. And this is really how this whole process initiated. And the more automations Instagram allowed, the easier it becomes to constantly sell. And basically, I feel like the way Instagram is in 2024, how it's becoming in 2025, it's a freaking manifestation of me, because I've asked for all those features and now I'm using this. And this has been so wild, because yesterday I did a post on Instagram. I'm like, hey, attention everybody, drop a heart below or we're going to be removing you, because this is what I'm going to be talking about, and if you don't like it, it's okay, but we are going to end the relationship then with you. And of course, if you're here, a female entrepreneur, you want to grow your business, you want to automate, you want to move from high ticket coaching to low and mid ticket coaching, if you also want to know events in your calendar, like, hey, I'm Janine, I'm here, I'm so happy to do this journey with you. And at the same time, I totally understand if you don't vibe with this anymore. And as a marketing genius as I am, of course, I set this up And of course I set it up with an automation, and that automation, so hello, here I am, probably the only human being that's saying, I'm deleting you from my Instagram, that made immediately $5,000 in 2 hours afterwards with the automations, the way I set up things. Everything's long-term, everything is highly strategic, everything's on point, everything's automated. So whenever people see my profile and engage with my content, I make sales. And you can do the same. But it takes long-term thinking. It takes really understanding your dream client, who you're talking to, what they desire, how you can be in highest service to them. This is not a quick, like how to make $10,000 really quick and fix no matter what. In this community, I know you are here because you're a freaking genius at what you do. I know you're a high achiever. I know you have high freaking goals. And I know this is about integrity. You're like me. I don't want to sell you shit just to say, oh, I made quick money. I'm here because I know everything we talk about, all the offers, no matter if it's my free content, no matter if it's my paid content, it's a freaking high value. You learn something, you implement, you make more money. If you love to continue working with me, it's amazing. If not, at this point, it's also fine. No strings attached. But I will keep showing up with value. And this is what we stand for in this community. And this is what makes you rich and happy, not just once, but permanently, moving every month to higher and higher income months. So I just want to come up and give you the 3 things on Instagram we talked about. I want you immediately to check if you're ready for higher engagement, if you're ready for more dream clients and not ideal clients. Because remember, it can feel like otherwise you're the Dior, you have Dior offers, you're freaking genius. It's like a Dior collection. But if you talk to H&M people, they don't value it and they don't want to pay for it. So then you take it personal and you think, man, something's wrong with me. No one wants to buy my offers. Like people say something about the price. No, you just got to talk to the real people. Like H&M can talk to H&M people that value H&M, and you can be the Dior and you talk to your dream clients who value Dior. And then it's a match. Once we have a match, things become easy. So we have to really learn how our Dior clients are, how to talk to them, how to identify them. It's something we are doing in the Dream Client Blueprint program. It's 5 quick modules. Actually, I've just recorded a new module. It's exactly what I taught you here, how to master this for yourself, how to identify them. And the cool part is there is really a dream client explosion avatar list. This is how I name it, with what I'm asking myself, what are the exact questions I've asked myself before every piece of content I create, so it can make sales for me. And what I'm talking about, I'm not meaning like Instagram pays me or YouTube or whatever. It's like real people buy my product from the content of social media, they engage with me, automations are happening, how is this happening? This is exactly the first part, how to identify your dream clients. What we're doing in this program, if you feel like, hey, this is me, cool, just drop a pay me in the comment section. Also when you're watching the replay. Yep. And the other part, in order to identify this was a summary I wanted to do. Forgot it. So I want you to go to your followers and make sure when you click on your follower list that you delete all the people from your followers who already deleted their Instagram account. So they're already dead. They're already identified as dead accounts by Instagram, but yet they're still on your follower list. So they actually hurt your engagement. So we want to take these out. Second, get clear on your dream clients, who they are, and I want you to go through your follower list. And maybe if you see people that don't have a real profile picture, that are called Mickey Mouse 123, Dog Lover Mini, Harry Potter 567, are these your dream clients? If not, maybe allow yourself to end the relationship. Because I deeply believe, as being online and visible on social media for all of us, we hold capacity for people. And I think it's better for all of us if we are holding capacity and we're in a mutual relationship than in a one-way relationship. So it's really worth to contemplate, to clean your Instagram and make space and room for the people who are your dream clients, who are out there, who want to work with you right now, here, today. I love you. And of course, let me know in the comments if you've cleaned your Instagram and if you're seeing a difference. Would love to hear from you. And I will talk to you soon. Don't forget to comment pay me for the Dream Client Blueprint.